Hello, everybody. Joe the Jet G here, and today I'm gonna just talk about sort of a concern I've been kind of thinking about as the days went by. You know, post draft. The draft was about almost a week ago. I think literally just a week ago, which is insane. How time's flying, and we're already heading into rookie minicamp next weekend. So there's that. But there's there's a position of value that needs some concern, in my personal opinion. Last year, the Jets defensively were a mess. They couldn't get a single interception. I mean, they finished as the first team in NFL history not to record a single interception in the regular season. Okay, that's pretty bad. You traded Sauce Gardner away, you traded Quinn Williams away, you traded two decent pieces, and even though when they were on the roster, the defense was still struggling. So, yeah. But even after they traded them, it got worse, much, much worse. The Jets, I feel like they did a great job on improving the cornerback room as badly as it was. Bringing D'Angelo Pons, bringing in Nashawn Wright, who was really, really good with the Bears. Um, Bringing in Minka Fitzpatrick, that's definitely something that can help the safety room right there. And also with the defensive line, bringing in David Bailey, of course, But the one major concern with this defense and probably with the entire team and probably the weakest link room I've seen on this team is the linebacking core. That is the biggest, weakest link right now on this team, and it's something to be a little bit concerned about when training camp rolls around. Um, First things first, you know, the one thing the Jets did to address this room was that they signed Demario Davis. Now, Demario Davis is great in all, but he is old. That is the problem. He is getting up there in age. He is, you know, not as youthful as he used to be. Yes, he's a former Jet, and we all love him for coming back again, but he's getting up there in age, and his shelf life in the NFL is not very long. Um, but we don't have a really good young linebacker. I mean, people can make the case of Jamie Sherwood, but Jamie Sherwood last year was so horribly bad that I can't just, forget about last year and just give him a pass. He was awful last year. He was awful in coverage. He was awful when it comes to trying to get to the quarterback. He was certainly one of the weaker links on the defense last year. And honestly, that's concerning. I mean, if he's going to do the same things that he did last year on the field, that's going to be a problem. And I'm not 100% sure um, that he's going to replicate what he did in 2023 in the 2025 because in 2023 he was solid. He was solid. Well, I think he was very, very solid. But in 2025 last year, he was very, very bad. Very, very bad. He was slowly like it almost feels like he fits Robert Sala's system too perfectly to the point where he's just a system player, and you put him in any other system, he just doesn't work. Or he's just not as good as uh, what he's supposed to be, which is why I kind of expected us to trade him to the Titans. Well, turns out we're not trading him to the Titans, or we're not trading him anywhere. He's staying here for the time being, unless the trade deadline starts coming up again and Robert Sala wants to give us a second for him. I mean, I would take that in an instant. You know, get another second and trade Jamie Sherwood to Tennessee. I mean, that would be a great sort of thing there. But other than that, this is our linebacking room for right now. And it kills me because in the second round, we had the perfect linebacker dropping to us, but the Miami Dolphins picked him up with Jacob Rodriguez. He was just a pick, just one more pick to pass up Jacob Rodriguez, and we would have had him. And that would have really helped our linebacking core in an instant. We would have gotten a way better linebacker prospect, and we wouldn't have to worry about it. Now I'm satisfied with D'Angelo Pons. Honestly, I really like D'Angelo Pons. This guy's a ball hawk. He's very, very good. He causes turnovers. But the thing is, um, it's more of a damned if you do, damned if you don't type of thing when it came to the second round. If you if you passed up corner, maybe there would have been some corners available for you later, but you know, not as good as D'Angelo Pons. Same thing with Jacob Rodriguez. If you pass up on or if you miss on a Jacob Rodriguez, chances are you're not going to find a linebacker that is as good as him. That that's as good as him. So that's sort of the tragic thing there. But this is certainly a position of concern when it comes to this team. I'm probably going to be looking for Darren Muji in this summer to possibly make a move if if my suspicions are proved correct. During training camp, you're seeing these linebackers, they're missing on assignments. You're seeing Jamie and Sherwood mess up a lot and stuff like that. I do have faith in Demario Davis making plays still and calling out the offense and being sort of that quarterback of the defense. But again, he's up there in age. He's not going to be as quick as he used to be. He's not going to be as powerful as he used to be. Um, and that's a concern to me. But I do value the idea of bringing in an old guy for his football IQ and a guy to just be a field general for you and help your defense out and help call out the opposition's offense. So I think that's a good that was a very good signing looking at it. But again, the age scares me, and at a certain point, what's going to be the idea post Demario Davis because his career is ending sooner rather than later. Now, are we going to address that next year's draft? Um, that's definitely a possibility. Are we going to address that in a trade, in a preseason trade? Maybe. Are we going to address that at the deadline? I guess maybe that's I don't know if we're not very good at the deadline, we're probably going to be selling, not buying. So, um, you know, we'll see when it comes to that sort of point in the season. But as of right now, the biggest position of concern is the linebacking core, and um, I just feel like we need more bodies on that in that room. And you know, other than Jamie and Sherwood and Demario Davis, I mean, there's nothing really that crazy because you get uh Mikel Walker and Kiko Maui Noah, which I mean Kiko Maui Noah, um, last year the Jets spent a draft pick on him, a late draft pick on him. I mean, I was scratching my head when they made the pick last year, but I mean, you got to have more. You got to have more guys in this room. I mean, you did. This the way that the room is standing right now. It's just not. It's not that great. It's not that good enough. Honestly, I just feel like you got to make a move. Granted, it can't be a drastic move like trading a first round pick or something like that. No, first round picks are valuable, especially next year. You cannot trade a first round pick. I don't even think you can trade a second round pick. Um, maybe trade a fourth or fifth for a guy that becomes a cap casualty somewhere around, down the line, or a guy that gets cut, a solid linebacker that ends up getting cut and ends up, becoming a cap casualty, you definitely need, if I'm the Jets and there's a linebacker available in the coming weeks, I definitely jump on that because trust me, this team needs linebackers and they need as much help as they possibly can in that room, um, because it's the weakest room in my opinion. I mean, yeah, I mean at the defensive side of the ball, I mean corners are okay, as of right now. The corners, I feel like I feel like that they're improved a lot, but are they all set? Are they all great? I mean, I no, I think there are some corners that on this team that can be well thought out starters, very, very good starters, and there are some corners where I think, eh, they're decent to average. Um, and then the D line. The D line I feel like is very improved off of last year, and I feel like we're going to start getting some pressure on opposing quarterbacks, especially adding David Bailey at that edge. Definitely helps you out at that sort of spot. The offense, again, the offense feels all but rebuilt at this point. The O line feels as complete as it ever did. I mean, maybe you have concerns you know, with left guard or left guard maybe, or center if you guys don't like Josh Myers, but I think Josh Myers is pretty solid. Um, but yeah, no, I feel like offensive line is kind of fully rebuilt. The weapons on this team is very, very good. Um, the only question mark again with the offense is the quarterback, which rightfully so. You definitely should have questions about Geno Smith. I mean, you don't know which Geno Smith you're going to get. But if we get Seattle Geno, this offense could put up some points. I mean, again, like I said in many, many videos before, Geno can ball. He can play. If you give him enough stuff to work with, he can ball. Um, but yeah, no, the only weak link of this team, and I think something that Darren Muji needs to address in the coming weeks, and something I guarantee you everyone is going to be talking about all training camp, is going to be how are we going to improve this linebacker core during before the season? How are we going to trade for a linebacker? How are we going to sign a linebacker off waivers? How are we going to do this with this linebacker? What are we doing here? I guarantee you this is going to be the conversations that are going to be had with this team, and it's going to be one of the bigger positions of concern. So yeah, um, that's how I feel. Um, like, comment, comment if you agree with me, comment if you disagree with me. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. And yeah, thank you. I'll see you soon on my next video. All right, all right. See you everybody, and go Jets.